Welcome back to the Science of Peace. Thank you all for joining me. My name is Ms. M to the Z to the Z. Man, remember what you are. And I specifically say what you are because you are so much more than what you might think you are. And I came up with this topic because I recently started watching, or I finished the whole thing, but the series, The Man Who Fell to Earth. And I started watching it as a recommendation from Billy Carson from Forbidden Knowledge and Dr. Be Serious. And when I tell you, if you are into like sci-fi, if you're into like studying ancient advanced history of aliens and all those type things that you can find, man, you have got to go and watch this. And it comes on, I believe, HBO. But basically, to sum it up, it's about an alien black guy who comes to planet Earth because he's trying to help his planet survive. And then all of the tales and the tribulations that occur while he's on planet Earth. And there's a scene that I'm going to show you of when he experiences what it really feels like to be human, because the whole time while he's here on planet Earth, he still has the characteristics of his alien makeup. And in their world, they don't feel. They don't have like emotions. They don't have the energy and motion, you know what I'm saying, that really compose and make us what we are as humans. And so, there's kind of like a disconnect as far as him really empathizing with being human, because he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand the feelings. He doesn't understand the connection. He doesn't understand the emotion. And so to him, it could seem, in a way, juvenile, you know what I'm saying? Or just crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why do humans act the way they act? And so when you don't have feelings, when you don't empathize, and when you don't endure the emotions of other people, then it's hard for you to even comprehend why do humans do the things that humans do. And and I must say, at one point in my life, and not that long ago, where you read things and you see things that the human race participates in, and you're like, yo, when are we going to evolve? This is crazy. Some of the things that's going on, and we can name so many of them, but I don't even want to give that energy to this video, because that's not what I intentionally want to put out, because we have enough of that, right? We got enough negativity. And we have enough things showing us that we are horrible, you know what I mean? But when I watched this movie or series, it made me reflect upon how special and how divine we are as humans. And I took some time to reflect, and just have gratitude for being human, because we all chose to come here. I mean, this is from my current level of understanding. We all chose to come here and experience this human thing. Like, you may have heard the quote, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, And part of us coming here to planet Earth is evolving. And so we can't just evolve to the greatest homo luminous or advanced homo sapiens. We can't just evolve into that until we experience things that allow us to grow. The only thing that allows you to grow as a human or as a species on this planet Earth is contrast. And when I say contrast, I mean like struggle, like pain. You know what I'm saying? It can't always be beautiful, because if it was always beautiful and everyone was always, in their higher self, then what we need to evolve to? We would already be that. And so I have to remember that, and I hope that this insight allows some other people the same insight and spark something within you to remember what you are. And the toughest battles that we experience, we signed up for these battles because we knew that those things were necessary for us to grow, for us to expand, right? And you have a greater appreciation for certain things when you actually have experienced the opposite of that. And this series made me remember even more of how special it is, how unique it is, how divine it is, and how we as humans have a certain respect amongst other species. And I'm not just talking about species here on planet Earth, but the species that live beyond planet Earth that are not human, but they're all, watching to see what we do. And they're all looking to see how much we evolve, and although we are considered, a newer planet, right? The babies, the youngest of the planets, which is why we're so like not advanced compared to, other solar systems or whatever you want to call it. And we may get the bruit of jokes where people say, well, humans are Neanderthals, like we're stupid, we're barbaric, we destroy the planet, we don't have no consideration for Mother Earth. Now, I'm not saying that none of that is true, because clearly, living on this planet, we see and experience those things, but that doesn't mean that that's all of who we are and all of what we are. But that is part of the contrast, right? Because some of us seeing that and feeling that and experiencing the pain from those things that are happening, it sparks this ignition within us to do better, to do greater, to create solutions for these things. And that's part of humanity. That's part of the evolution. That's part of the growth, and in this series, he has a moment where he is experiencing the feelings of a human, because he has an adept, which is basically like his mentor, or they're on their planet. There's adepts, and then there's drones. He's a drone, which is more like a robot. You do what you're told. And the adepts, are more advanced. And on his planet, the adepts rule. But his adept, his teacher, sent him to planet Earth to help save their planet. And I don't want to ruin it, but there's some other things that happen there. But he gets to experience the feelings of his adept teacher, because the memories are embedded and encoded with him, and he starts to experience that feeling, because his adept is here on planet Earth in the series, and he's trying to free him. And so he's been on planet Earth for so long that he's actually fallen in love with a human. And so the drone gets to experience that feeling of love and that feeling of pain, because they weren't able to be together. And he is just floored. And I want to show you the scene. So, and I'm going to show it once. I don't want to talk through the scene because I hate when people do that. And I'm going to show you the scene, and then we'll go back and then, talk about it briefly, but just watch. These are not
my experiences. There is. I cannot align it. I want it to stop.
What you're feeling, it's us. This is what we are. Humans.
I do not have time for this.
Maybe you needed to understand him, so
At the end, understand each other. We do not endure each other.
we do. We do. The experiences of others, even strangers, we can feel them.
You tolerate it.
We tell ourselves stories to keep going.
Deceptions,
Sometimes
creations.
imagination cuts both ways.
Wow. So there's like, it's so much in that scene, right? So I'm gonna go back because I just love this. But you see how, okay, let me play. And I'll break it down.
These are not my experiences. There is.
So he's experiencing the feeling of his teacher, the adept, and it's taking over his body. And just look at the pain that he's never experienced this before. This is all new to him. You know what I mean?
I cannot align it. I want it to stop.
Now tell me, have you ever, I know that you have experienced this before. We all have. We're human. It's part of the human experience. But that's kind of like the beauty of being human. That's what makes us human. Don't forget that you chose to be human. And he's like, I want it to stop. You know, he doesn't even know what to do with it. It's like, it's foreign to him. And this part right here should let you know that that's how special we are as humans, because we do this 24/7. You know what I'm saying? We don't get to just leave at will. We don't get to just leave this planet and say, hey, I don't want to experience these human emotions anymore and just stop it from happening. But we actually have to shift through this and grow through this pain, and that is something special. That's something to be honored. That's something to be respected. Something to be proud of. It makes me look at being human and what we experience. It makes me appreciate the pain. And it makes me think about that song that's trending now on TikTok with the thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's like, thank you for joy. Thank you for pain. This right here is the experience that where you're like, thank you for this pain, because without this pain, I could not grow. I could not evolve. I could not appreciate joy, the way that I would if I never experienced pain. So this is just another insight, another perspective, at least for me, to make me appreciate when I'm growing through hardships, perceived hardships. You know what I'm saying?
What you're feeling, it's us. This is what we are. Humans.
I do not have time for this.
Maybe you needed to understand him, so
At the end, understand each other. We do not endure each other.
He says, I do not have time for this, right? Because he was sent here on planet Earth. He has a mission, he has a purpose. Don't we all? As humans, we all have a mission and we all have a purpose. And at times, we can often feel like, I don't have time for all of this, this that comes with being human, the feelings, the emotions, the war, the racism, the rage, the hate, like all of these things, you know, can be distractions from what your purpose is. But it made me realize, hold up, part of our purpose as a human is to experience this. We need to experience these feelings, these emotions, this connection that we have with one another, you know, the energy and emotion. And sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not, but we need to experience it. And sometimes we can feel like we don't have time, but that's when I want you to remember, and I'm going to do the same for me, and be thankful, because this is also part of our purpose.
we do. We do. The experiences of others, even strangers, we can feel them.
You tolerate this.
Right? Like from his eyes, he's like, yo, how the hell can y'all tolerate this? Wear that human badge with honor, man. How do y'all even tolerate? He can't even figure it out. How do y'all tolerate this? You know what I mean? And then that gives you, to me, it gives more greater perspective on some of the things that you may see other humans do that you look at and you like, why the hell would you do that? And you don't understand it. But it ain't really for you to understand. That is part of that person's experience. That's part of that person's journey. That's part of that person's evolution. You know what I mean? And that's why, you know, it's like no judgment for real, because you don't know. You don't know why somebody has to hit rock bottom before they get up and want to do something different. And some people's rock bottom, you know, is more bottom than others, you know. But to me, I mean, that can just be based on your experience, you know, meaning how many times have you even been here to planet Earth to grow and evolve? You know what I mean? Because if you were a senior in high school, because I look at Earth as a school, if you were a senior in high school, you wouldn't walk up to a first grader and yell at them because they don't know how to share. You know what I'm saying? They're not there yet. They have to experience that contrast and that pain of being in that classroom and not sharing and getting in trouble. And then, you know what I'm saying? That whole thing that people got to grow through. But it's not for you who's already been through that and learned those lessons to go to someone else and then, you know, preach upon them or judge them, shame them, make them feel guilty for where they are, you know? And it just gives me a greater appreciation for being human and all the things that we experience, because not every species gets to experience this.
We tell ourselves stories to keep going.
Deceptions,
Sometimes
creations.
Sometimes.
imagination cuts both ways.
Damn. He's like, how do you get through this? We tell ourselves stories. Deceptions. Sometimes we have to, because it's a coping mechanism. Sometimes we have to deceive our own selves, be delusional. You know what I'm saying? Just to endure, just to grow, you know. And then sometimes we create. And that's the great part. That's the great part. And I feel like that's part of the evolving, when we can take that pain, you know, and we can take that struggle, that experience, and then, you know, become the alchemist and turn it into something that we can use as fuel so that we can create, you know, like I'm into music, right? I have a band. And oftentimes I take things that I see and things that I experience and I turn it into music for other people as a service to humanity, right? That's part of my purpose, is to serve humanity. And so I can take my pain, my experiences, and transmute them into music, into tones, into other frequencies, and hopefully, you know, help other people. But also it helps me. That's my therapy. You know what I'm saying? And then she says, imagination, it cuts both ways. Ashe, man, Ashe. It's deep. It's deep. Dang. And so we'll go to this next slide, right? And this is what I want us to remember. The greatest nation in the entire universe is your imagination. The greatest nation in this entire universe is your imagination. Whatever you can imagine, you can create. And that's one of the gifts of being human, that we have that ability to create. We have that ability to use our minds, you know, to use our senses and use beyond our senses, because we are the alchemist. I am that I am. This is part of the magic of us. This is part of our gift. So always remember that. And I hope that, you know, I hope it helps some. I know that helped me, you know. And I wanted to say, you know, be thankful. I know I am. I'm more thankful for being human, because sometimes, you know, at certain points in my life, in my experiences and things that I've seen and saw, I have said, damn, why can't we just evolve already? And so now, you know, I think, you know, with wisdom and with more understanding, I understand the woes of being human, and the experiences and the pain and the struggle and the beauty and the mess, and how we can have a beautiful nightmare from all of these things. And all of these things are required on your journey of being a human, being a spirit, you know, having a human experience. This is just part of the journey, you know? So I hope that it brought some new perspective. I hope you go watch, you know, the series and check it out, man, because it's deep. It's deep. So thank you for joining me. This is The Science of Peace. Make sure you subscribe. Peace upon you. And I'm out.